Hello boys, how is it going? Welcome to the channel. Today we are doing one of the videos I've really wanted to do, but I've had to hold out for quite a long time, simply due to the fact that even now technically it's still early. So we do need to get this video done, and I know that some people have been wanting to see it, so we're going to do it. I have taken this idea from I think it might have been Reeve. I think he did this. He did a tier maker where it had all of the Premier League teams in for the 2019-2020 season. We'll go have a look at them now. What I'm going to go for is just purely because of how I believe Liverpool are going to be set up this season. I believe Liverpool are going to want the Premier League more, and Manchester City are going to focus on the Champions League more, just because Manchester City have not won the Champions League. That's what they want. They would rather have Champions League over Premier League, whereas Liverpool, they still need to win that. So I highly reckon Liverpool are going to put all their focus and all their energy into the Premier League. And obviously, Manchester City, a top quality side, they might win the Premier League, but as I said, we'll put Liverpool there. Man City, obviously, as I've just said, a great side, and I do reckon it would be almost impossible for them not to get a Champions League spot. So yeah, now the rest of the top four is a bit tough. I am gonna go with Spurs, just purely because Spurs have been absolutely quality, especially for the lack of signings they've made, and the fact they've brought in Ndombele, who, can I just say, looks absolutely amazing, just makes me even more comfortable in saying that Spurs will be a Champions League qualifier for the next season. I would say they will be in the top three. And for the last squad to put into this top four, I'm struggling. There's not really one side I say should take it. You know, like, they all could do it, and whichever one's not going to do it is most likely going to get Europa League. But what the team I am going to go with to get that fourth spot is Chelsea. Again, had a good pre-season, had that win over Barcelona 2-0. Very good goal as well, can I just say, from Tammy Abraham and Ross Barkley. The keeper could have done better, but still, they did alright. So I do believe Chelsea will be the better out of the three teams that I had in mind to who could win that top four. And then obviously, if you didn't know who I was going to pick, the other two teams that I was considering was Manchester United and Arsenal. Yeah, you can understand why. They are good sides. But I just believe Chelsea will pip it over them into the top four. And for the other two teams that are going to go into this Europa League spot, one of them I am very comfortable in, and we are going to put them in right now. That is Wolves. Being absolutely quality, had a very good pre-season, winning the pre-season tournament with beating Newcastle. Yes, lads, 4-0 I think it was, and then beating Man City, and they had youngsters in the side. I know Manchester City did as well, but Man City's squad should have been good enough still to beat that Wolves side, especially because Wolves had young players in it as well. And now there is three teams I would say are fighting over this other Europa League spot, and for me that would be out of Everton, Leicester and West Ham. I am going to go for Everton. Look like they are making some pretty big strides, man. Like, they've brought in, I'm not sure who they have brought in. I haven't really been keeping up on Everton, but I know right now they're close to bringing in Zaha and Moise Kean from Juventus, which both are great attacking options. But at the same time, West Ham United, they have lost Arnautovic, but I still do believe their squad is very much capable of Europa League finish. They've got Felipe Anderson, they've brought in Pablo Fornals, they've brought in who's the other person they've brought in? They've brought in someone else, Sebastian Haller from the Bundesliga, the French striker. So, and Leicester, I don't know. Leicester, I do believe, could get Europa League, but for me, it is going to go to not escape relegation. West Ham are going to go into Europa League, and then I'm obviously going to put Everton into one of the other two sides. And the only other side really I can see taking that spot would be Leicester City. So we are going to put them in. Hopefully I am pretty certain on my top 10 right here. I'm bearing in mind it's not in order. I know I've said it as if it's in order, but it's not in any particular order. I will put an order after. Oh, actually, no, yeah, you know what? This is in order, actually, when I think about it. I have been putting it in order, so yeah. This is my order. So Liverpool first, this is for the top 10. Liverpool first, Manchester City second, Spurs third, Chelsea fourth, Man United fifth, Arsenal sixth, Wolves seventh, West Ham eighth, Everton ninth, and Leicester City 10th. Now, Bournemouth, I like Bournemouth. You know, I think that Bournemouth are a good side. And I do think they can get in definitely towards the top 10. The other side I'm going to put them, all of these sides in my opinion that are left, and you might be thinking, actually no, Watford, they can go alongside comfortably there with Bournemouth. But all of these other sides, I would say, are relegation candidates, if you think about it. Especially if Palace do lose Wilfried Zaha, because then, in my opinion, they haven't got anyone else who can go forward and score goals for them. So the other two teams I would say will get into the top 15 are Burnley and actually, do I think for Southampton? Yeah, Southampton. We'll put Southampton there. And that leaves us one more spot for the top 15. And that spot for me is going to go to Sheffield United. You might be a bit surprised. I just believe Sheffield United are very organised. They're very structured. I think they've got a good way of running the club, the owners. And I like the manager. Actually, who is the manager? Unless the swap manager. I remember the manager that went in because he was rumoured to be going to Sunderland when we were in the Championship. Oh, it might have been last season. I'm not really sure. And he didn't. But unless they've changed manager, which I can't imagine them doing, I do believe Sheffield United are better than the other 5 teams that we have got here. I am going to put Palace into escape relegation just because Palace, I just believe that's where they can go. I don't see them finishing any higher than that, but I also don't see them getting relegated unless they don't find a striker replacement or they don't sell Wilfried Zaha. But it looks pretty certain Zaha doesn't want to be there, so I'd imagine he would be sold. The other team going into the escape relegation for me is going to be Aston Villa. Again, I like the way Villa are run. I don't know why, but I genuinely don't know why. I just don't like Villa. But I don't think bear in mind, this has no persuasion over me. Like, all of this is genuineness, it isn't biasness. And for all you Newcastle fans, no, it's not because I'm a Sunderland fan that you will be going to the relegated zone. It's just how I see it going, man. Joelinton, I don't think is good enough. He scored 7 goals in the Bundesliga last year. And the Bundesliga is, for me, a very, very, very below standard league, apart from Bayern Munich, Dortmund, and then a couple players from other teams like Timo Werner. Like, there's not much going on in the Bundesliga apart from Bayern and Dortmund and maybe RB Leipzig. I just don't see much happening with Joelinton, unfortunately. But yeah, so this is our top 17, and then as I said, this is in order. And then for me, let's do the relegated sides. I'm gonna put Brighton for 18th just cause, well, I don't think they're good enough. I don't think none of these sides here, in my opinion, are good enough. Newcastle are gonna be 19th for me, and last, dead bottom, is Norwich. As I said, I've got nothing against these sides. I just don't think that you are good enough. I could maybe see Newcastle pipping out into the escape and relegation, but I see Villa and Crystal Palace as better sides and a more comfortable side to see in the Premier League. So yeah, let's go first again as for our 20 Premier League sides in order. So, in my opinion, this is how the Premier League season is going to go. We're going to have first Liverpool, our league winners. Second, Manchester City. Third, Spurs. Fourth, Chelsea. That is going to be your Champions League qualifiers for next season. Europa League positions are going to go to Manchester United in 5th, Arsenal in 6th, Wolves in 7th, and West Ham in 8th. 9th is going to be Everton, in 10th is going to be Leicester. That is going to be the top 10. 11th, we are going to have Bournemouth. 12th is Watford. 13th, Burnley. 14th, Southampton. 15th, Sheffield United. 16th, Crystal Palace. 17th, Aston Villa. And then the relegated sides, Brighton in 18th, Newcastle in 19th, and Norwich in 20th. I would say this is a pretty good prediction. I would imagine this is how most of the leagues can go. They might not be exactly right, but I do predict that these teams will be in their group. So Sheffield United might not be 15th, but they'll be in the top 10 to 15. That's how I feel like it's going to go. Let me know who you guys think is going to be winning the Premier League next season, and who you think is going to be relegated from the Premier League season. Leave a like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I will see you all later.